a total drama season, but you read it right. It's in the order of my top 22 favorite. Man, this was a horrible intro. So essentially, it's going to be a total drama season in the order of my top 22 characters from, obviously last up to first, and we obviously have two teams right here, and I am going to be trying to figure out a way to eliminate each person, Try to make it make sense, I guess. Because these are technically, it looks like a random bunch of selected characters, but they have a very set elimination order. So, first of all, we have Ripper. Obviously, Ripper gets eliminated because he's on a team full of nerds, and the nerds probably do not like him. He probably bullies a lot of people, makes Owen mad. Bowie doesn't like him. I don't think Dawn would like him very much either. Z definitely won't Z likes him, but Justin probably won't like him, think he was gross or something like that. Next we move on to the next thing where we get rid of Raj. The reason we get rid of Raj is because they realize that they have two dumb people on their team with Wayne and Raj, but they decide, let's choose the one who won the season, because surely that will be more helpful to us in the future. Next we have Jacques. Jacques gets eliminated because there's a lot of villains on this team already and smart, manipulative people, and they decide we have no more need for Jacques. Next, we get rid of Owen, probably because he messes up in the challenge, or because they remember that he did technically win a season, so it's probably the best time to eliminate him now. Though they don't know really how that happened. Next we get rid of Sammy. The only reason I feel like they would get rid of Sammy here is due to the fact that I feel like Sammy would not always have the best ability to focus on the challenge, especially when someone brings up her sister, and as well as that, if she doesn't quite find any good friends due to some sort of standoffishness, I feel like she would get eliminated pretty early on. Next we have Bowie. They get rid of Bowie because they're homophobic. They get rid of Bowie because he is another one of the villains on their team. They learn about the villainous actions in the past, but Justin is still, working really hard on the team, and they decide to get rid of Bowie because he was more of a villain in the season. Meanwhile, Justin just tried to manipulate some people and didn't do too well at it either. Next we have Brick getting eliminated. They get rid of Brick because, you know what, I'm gonna say it, Brick eliminates himself. He eliminates himself because he broke his code, as he so often does. Next they get rid of Lindsay because Heather personally doesn't like Lindsay. Alejandro thinks she's dumb. Noah thinks she's dumb. And Scott is just like working with Heather and Alejandro right now. Next person they eliminate is Wayne, due to the fact that he is becoming less helpful as time goes on, especially without Raj. The next person they get rid of is, for the Dashing Wolves, is Justin. The reason they get rid of Justin is because, once again, he's one of the only villains on the team, and after this, pretty much all of them are good friends. The next person to get eliminated here is Tyler. Or sorry, not Tyler. Hold on, I'm gonna make this merge right here. The next person to get eliminated is Alejandro. Heather plots a betrayal, convinces Sean and Ezekiel, who are kind of vibing, and Noah as well, to get rid of Alejandro, especially since Noah doesn't really like Alejandro in the first place. However, Heather miscalculates the fact that her team could possibly lose again, and due to the fact that the other people on her team weren't especially, annoyed with each other, she realizes that she needs to get rid of herself here, especially because Scott, Ezekiel, and Sean all get along pretty nicely, and Noah is just kind of a brainiac. And not really too threatening, so they get rid of Heather here. However, we have now moved up to merge. The first eliminated contestant is probably Tyler, as they realize that he had actually been pulling off pretty well in the challenges up until then, and they decide they need to get rid of him about now. The next person they get rid of is Dawn, due to the fact that a lot of people still think she's kind of weird. Scott convinces them that she'll find out all of their secrets. Noah doesn't really believe it, but Sean is definitely a believer in the paranormal, and so is Harold. Cody has seen what Dawn can do as well. Ezekiel kind of vibes with Dawn, though. So does Z. And so does Kitty, but it's too late. Speaking of Kitty, Kitty gets eliminated next. Scott and Noah kind of pair together and realize, hey, this could actually be a little bit difficult because Kitty has literally no enemies right now. We need to get rid of her. There's not a single person who dislikes her. The next person, so they convince, yet again, Sean to vote with them, convincing him that she might have the abilities of Dawn. He completely and utterly believes it when Kitty figures out something about him, kind of without trying, but it's not like something like Dawn can do. It's just more of a tiny, oh my gosh, you were homeschooled, eh? And he's like, I didn't tell anyone, when he totally did at one point, but she just overheard. Next we get rid of Z. Why do we get rid of Z? Probably the same thing that Noah and Scott had before, where they're like, he's too good at making friends, but he's actually not that good at challenges in the first place, so we're gonna get rid of him here. The next person they get rid of is Scott, because Noah has finally had enough of Scott's antics, and so he decides to spill all the tea to Sean, Harold, Cody, and Ezekiel, thus getting Scott eliminated. However, knowing that Noah was pretty shifty, they get him out here. We have Ezekiel clutch this challenge, which allows for them to get rid of Sean, because they realize that he is going to be probably the biggest threat out of all of them. Then Cody wins, in which Harold is the third placer. Obviously, they're going to get rid of, once again, the strongest competitor, which is Harold. Which means that we have a Cody versus Ezekiel finale, with Ezekiel being my second favorite character, having the non-canon ending. Anyway, how did you like this elimination order or this season? Tell me down in the comments, how would you eliminate each person? How would you make this work? Not for you to do my job for me, but, I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it. So, If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, that way you can see whenever I upload. Make sure to go outside, compliment someone's hair. For the love of God, please compliment somebody's hair. The world is such a painful place right now, and I really think more people need to have a little bit of positivity. Okay? I see so much. So go outside, compliment someone's hair, and make the world a little bit of a better place.